Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk Dog.
Welcome to the show. Let's get this party started.
I'm out.
Hopefully, y'all had a great day today.
I'm out.
It wouldn't be allegedly because he was charged.
Welcome to Speak. I'm out. Welcome to Speak. I'm out.
Why, those must be some good wings.
I'm Who You With Kirk Dog.
Welcome to Speak On It, Kurt Dog. I'm Kurt Dog. Hopefully, y'all had a great week today and a great day. Man, that's Texas weather. You don't know what you're going to get. Just wait 15 minutes and it'll switch on you. I want to welcome everyone to the show. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. D Live is always in the house. Oh, man. Tonight, I know we've been talking about the smash shooting. More and more is happening. And it's sad. So we're going to talk about, we actually going to point out some people that think it's funny to make threats, and they should be held to the highest extent of the law. Oh, it's Thursday night. My little sister is in the background waiting. But anyway, we're going to talk about that tonight, and hopefully everybody is staying safe. Please get out and register to vote for the November election. We need everybody because we don't need people like Herschel Walker in office. We don't need nobody else with that type of sense of mind to be in office, because we don't need them. But anyway, it's Thursday night. My little sister's in the house, Miss Risky. What's going on, Miss Risky?
Nothing, just waiting for the weekend, counting down.
It's the weekend eve. How was your week?
Interesting. I almost ran back to iPhone, but then I remember I really hated iPhone, and Samsung has the worst customer service. That's all I'm saying. I'm a fan, I'm loyal, but your customer service is lacking. But everything's taken care of, and so I'm good right now. But I've been dealing with them.
Well, I know last week you had to chase down the delivery service.
Yeah. This morning I had to call them because they were talking about, because I traded in my phone, and this time I went through Samsung instead of my provider. So because they had a good deal. It's like $750 credit. Yeah, like I'm in right on a $1,300 phone. And it varied on the type of phone you had. So selected my phone, sent it in, got my phone, set it up, and all of a sudden I get, well, your phone is not what you described. And I'm like, was it cracked? I mean, I know I wrapped it in the same stuff they wrapped my phone in. What's going on? Called them. They're like, no, your phone is just the regular S20. And I was like, no, it was the Ultra. I think I know what phone I was paying for 2 years. Ultimately, they were like, well, do you have a bill from when you paid for it? I was like, so you want me to go through 2 or 3 years worth of paperwork to find the one that shows, what kind of phone I have, when you can just look at the phone, go to about my phone, and see it tells you, S20, Ultra, da da da. So yeah, after speaking to somebody who understood what I was saying, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're good." I was like, "I know you are, because y'all would have been very upset because I would have driven up to Capel, which is where my phone is." And I was like, "He's like, no, we don't want that. No, you don't."
You gotta be careful talking about rolling up on somebody. If you're just not tuning in, we are live tonight, so you can live chat with us in the chat. Whichever platform you're on, please take the time, like, share, subscribe, and you can also call in tonight, 972-591-3665, 972-591-3665. If you want to join in the conversation. Now, Miss Risky, I know I'm sorry, my eyes itching. um, I know dealing with those phones is crazy, and I would have did the same thing. Said, "Hey,
Yeah,
got a choice. Either you can um, accept the phone because I know what I've been paying for,
yeah,
or send me my other phone back."
right. Because I was like, I'll send it back and go straight through Verizon. Like my other phone was fine.
And so,
A deal that was too good to be true, and I didn't realize it was gonna come with a few days of headaches.
yeah, it's always that hard when you're getting a new phone, trying to transfer over all
Yeah,
your contact, all your information. And at one point, when I was with Sprint years ago, they wanted to charge me to transfer my information over. And I told them, if I got to pay for you to transfer my information, maybe I need to go to a provider that's going to do it for free. So they went ahead and transferred it. So I'm like, all right. Um, but I'm glad you made it. It's Thursday night. What you sipping on tonight?
it was Martha,
Oh, okay. Um,
and I'll transition to water.
well, I have my water, and then um, I said I better get me a little something, something. So I got some. I think it was some coconut vodka or something. Um, then I mixed a little bit with it. So, um, so if any
Yeah,
liquor,
I need to hit up the liquor store tomorrow. I need to restock some stuff.
well, I'm not allowed to go to the liquor store by myself no more.
Well, you lost your mind the last time.
So I'm like, hey, it been a year. I should be off parole by now, but
I don't know, like, but did you build up your credit?
it been a year. I may need to ask today. You know, birthday coming up soon. Wife birthday is next week, so I'm gonna have to do something. I don't know what I'm doing. So, but it's all good. So you ready to get into this madness for this week?
Yeah, I guess.
Did you see the speech Biden, President Biden gave a while ago?
No,
I didn't either. Uh,
I didn't know he was giving one.
I um um I briefly turned it on there, and he was saying "God bless America," and turned around, and walked off. I said, "Oh." And I didn't have enough time to go back to see what all he was talking about, but I did see some people posted that he's encouraging Congress to pass a bill for all these mass shooting we've been having. Um, my thing is, I
You
hear
mean past
people.
the things they keep rejecting?
Hey, um, I've heard people talking about um, uh, oh, they're gonna take our weapons. It's really impossible for them to try to get every weapon at this point. It's very impossible to do it. And it will cost way more money to do that, which they could just pay off student loans, and it'll be cheaper. So, as for taking weapons, no, but I feel like it should be laws passed, stronger laws when people make threats. Um, and when people do it, treat them like a terrorist because that's what they are. You're doing a
Well,
mass
even
shooting.
still, like we talked about last week, you have to provide identification and can only get so many Sudafeds, like the good one. I forgot what the pseudo somethings in it, the good stuff. Behind the counter, you can only get what a max of 5 a month or so, 4 or 5, maybe 3. I don't know, but you're limited, and they keep track, to make sure you're not making meth in your basement. And you got all these regulations for all these things except guns. Any kooky bird with a wad of cash can get an assault rifle that you don't need in the United States at all. Like we're not in a war zone. We're not in like Syria. We're in the US of A. Handgun, rifle, shotgun. That's all you need. Only people that should have assault rifles are military and police. That's it. And why
Well,
you need more than five, I don't know, unless you're a collector. But if you're not,
well, even then, because I'm not gonna lie, years ago I thought about getting an assault rifle. Then I had to sit down and say why, because you can't hunt with it. Because if you shoot a deer or something with it, guess what? You're not gonna be able to eat it. Why? Um, and then I don't like snakes, so trying to go with hunting and whatever, that's not gonna work for me. So I felt like it was a waste of money. But I know people gonna say it's my rights. It's your right,
yep,
but at the same time, you have to be smart about it. Just like the uh, NRA was in Houston last week, um, and this video come out with a small kid able to cop an assault rifle loaded and all of this, and I'm like, why? And they'll be the ones talking about, I'm not going into the military. I got a foot spare. Oh, Trump. Um, but that will be one of the ones that would avoid from going to serve our country. So it's
yeah, on a technicality, it's
yeah,
convenient. But they're patriotic and they're for our rights, but they ain't fighting for them.
exactly.
They just fighting regular Joe Blow and and the children when they should be over there fighting. Actually,
Exactly.
they don't even need to be over there. Leave them folks alone. They don't bother us. We don't bother them. Stay out of grown folk business.
Well, we have a couple of uh, clowns, and I'm gonna ask the question. Um, with a couple of these that we're gonna talk about tonight, they're underage. Should they parents be held responsible for it? I'm just gonna ask the question. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just asking the question. Now, this was kind of strange for me because this first young man, and I'm gonna just call him Daniel. That's all I'm gonna call him. But the news article I have his full name on there and have his picture. They released a mug shot of him. Now, um, normally they try to keep kids covered up. I'm okay with them doing that because at some point we need to stop protecting them when they're doing adults things. But a 10-year-old, um, I feel like he just kind of marking what he see on TV, on video games or whatever like that. But it's not right for him um, to actually um, come up and try to making threats of a mass shooting at school. And he was actually yeah, excuse me. He was actually is this the one that was trying to recruit? Or no, that's the one in
No, that's somebody else.
California. Yeah, that was the one in California. That's the 16-year-old try to recruit. But Daniel, um, out of Florida, accused of threatening to shoot up his school with a local sheriff calling the move just um, desert for a suspected criminal. And I'm like, at 10 years old, you're talking about shooting up a school? 10 years old. And the county sheriff um, said that I understand the boy is 10 years old, his brain not fully developed, he's a juvenile. I have to tell you, when a 10-year-old press a trigger, the aftermath is the same regardless of the age. The sheriff office posted a video to Facebook showing Daniel, a fifth grader at Patriot, might have great name of the school, elementary school in Cape Coral, been arrested Saturday for alleged text message threats, which was forwarded to deputies by a tipster on May 28th. So, how did you feel about that 10-year-old?
Listen, again, mental health goes all the way around. And if your family's cookie bird and ain't dealing with their stuff, it trickles down. And unfortunately, a lot of parents are busy or not paying attention to their kids to see that their kids are troubled. And that's the problem. And the fact that he's 10 and already trying to shoot up some stuff, yeah, y'all, they need to figure out the root of that. Because, yeah, the parents, if he did shoot up a school, and again, he's 10 years old, I think anything 12 and younger, their parents need to be held accountable, give the kids some counseling to see if they, relapse or whatever. But, there should be rules in place because you don't want to send them, you know, I don't know. It's if like he's never had any issues, like I mean, there's a whole thing. Like I'm on the fence with how to treat that because nobody's going to be happy with whatever the outcome would have been. But at this point, get it while you can. Get him some counseling. Get the parents some counseling because I mean, the fact that he was trying to, he was threatening that, like you need to figure out why. But yeah, it's just too much, and the news doesn't make it better because every day there's an incident.
Okay. Now, here's more to the story. I should have said it earlier. And Daniel then allegedly shared an image of 4 assault rifles that he said he bought and his buddy to get ready for Water Day, reference to a recent school sponsor event in which students participate in water activities. Now, of course, he can make up stories and all of that, but do he have access to these type of weapons? That's a question because the parents need them. They need to monitor your kids and make sure your kids are not getting into these type of activities right up under your nose. Then when something happened, you go and say, "Oh, I didn't know. My kid is a good kid, but he just went and shot up and killed numerous of people. How can he be so good?" What are you doing as a parent? You need to monitor your kids. Make sure your kids are doing the right thing and continue to um, pay attention to them. Don't let social media, don't let video games raise your kids. I know for years they've been um, talk about censoring video games because some of them have a lot of killings on there, and some people cannot separate from reality and video games or false information. So it's just kind of jacked up the way it is. Um, um, so either way,
And
uh,
here's another thing, because I'm into these crime videos. Uh, I love those. I'm obsessed. Doesn't matter what kind it is. But I went down a rabbit hole and found this video, and it's on YouTube. And I'm trying to find the name of the guy, teenage boy, who had a blog on YouTube, very popular, and he went down the spiral. He spiraled out, and he started saying, "You know what? I'm going to shoot up the people at my job." And he planned it. He had his weapons. He showed the weapons. Nobody reported it. Everybody thought it was a joke. Aha, he's just kidding. The last day, he's like, "Well, I've been giving, this is my last video before I know I'm not going to make it out of this alive, but I'm going to take people with me. And before anybody says it, Oh, we had no idea. Yes, you did. You just ignored it. My parents, my grandparents, everybody, my peers, even the people on YouTube, they are ignoring like this, like they could stop this right now, but they're not. And I'm actually posting it. And now I'll wait. So he went to work that barricaded, it was only four people working there. He barricaded the doors and just started picking them off. And one of the girls he didn't shoot, like, because he shot somebody in front of her and they made eye contact. And they're speculating because she made eye contact with them. He didn't shoot her because he humanized her. He was shooting everybody else at a distance because at that point they were objects or things to be shot at.
Mm.
She ended up getting away and reporting it, but he was so clever that even after he did the shooting, and I think he killed himself, his video was on a timer, and what everything he did on his GoPro was uploaded and shared, and you can find it online, and I will find that video for you. Because it's chilling because like all the parents like, well, I had no idea, da da da. Pay attention to your kids. Like
That's the
he
best
was
thing you can do.
blatant. Like he was like, I mean, I haven't hidden anything. Like the fact that I have like these two rifles like in this house. Nobody cares. They're just like, what else? So it's
Well,
just like, I don't know. Like the parents, I think they do in these situations where there's mass shootings or threats, the parents do need to be held accountable and they need to take a deep dive and see what's going on in that family that this is what the kid's outlet is. This is his cry for help. Something that extreme.
exactly. And when you say it was uploaded on
YouTube.
YouTube, he had
Yeah.
been putting things on YouTube,
Yeah,
which
because he had a whole blog. Like he had big followers. Like he was like a popular YouTuber. And then all of a sudden he just the switches flipped and he was like, you know what? I'm thinking about just shooting up the place.
mm,
And had a plan and he mapped out his plan. And this wasn't like it was an overnight thing. This was over time. And nobody, and again, people just see it as entertainment purposes. But I think we should also have things in place on social media where, like, I can't call you a big head on Facebook without getting a notification. The bullying guidelines. Excuse me,
exactly,
I can call my sister or my bro, a big head or whatever. You know, they're not threatened by it or insulted. Why should you? But you post a gun, you post a threat, you post videos of assaults. None of those things get flagged. No notices go up. Where are the moderators that
exactly,
look for keywords? Like even if it's a bot, there should be key things that the bot or a moderator should be looking for and flag it. And yeah, I know that the police and whatever, they're overwhelmed with other crimes and things like that, but at least be able to say, hey, you may want to check this out.
exactly.
And they're already 25 years behind social media or the internet, because criminals are getting away with a lot of things online that they haven't caught up with. The laws are still protecting online people because it's entertainment, but we don't know it's real or not. But they may need to open up a whole new division just on internet or crimes and things like that,
If it looks
just to keep an eye
suspicious,
out.
you need to block it because you don't know. That's kind of like I know it's definitely different. Last year, you, myself, and Marcellus was in the chat, and we were playing music, and we got flagged by a couple of platforms that we're on, and I'm like, okay, we're giving rights to the artist, but we still got flagged.
Yeah,
So, um, but I guess that's more dangerous than people playing around with weapons. So, um,
Randy Stair is the guy's name.
what's the last thing?
Stair, like stairs.
Okay.
But yeah, he and they called it the it's 46 minutes, and it's called YouTuber turned mass murderer: the insane case of Randy Stair. And like he did a whole video just like your average little skater punk. But yeah,
Mm.
it I don't remember, and this was posted online. I don't know when this happened. But yeah, he had like a double barrel shotgun. He had an assault rifle. He had all the things. And again, like all these people are playing with guns, these kids. And remember, a few months ago we saw the little kids playing on TikTok, and she shot her cousin and then accidentally shot herself. Um, like just playing with these weapons that are just free nilly in families' homes.
Mm.
Like it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's guns are not a joke. Mass shooting is not a joke. It's definitely not one of those things that you should just sit up and play with, because this is real life. This is I I I use this all the time. I say life is not a video game. Once it's over, it's over. If you shoot someone, guess what? You just took their life. And your life is pretty much over too, because you're gonna get caught. Welcome to the show, Radio Chaos out of Canada. Say, hey, Kurt Dog, Miss Risky. Where is Marcellus these days? I talked with Marcella a couple of weeks ago. Uh, no, last week. He sent me a message last week about the Uvada shooting, and he's working a lot. He's working a lot, but he
Yeah, he
catch
started
the
making.
re.
He got 15 jobs.
He,
15 jobs.
he trying to get up to Miss Risky standards. Uh, but he's working a lot. I think he said he working 3 or 4 jobs or something. I don't know. He working a lot, but he still catch the replays. So and if it's something he want to come in, he'll send me a message or something. But um, that was one incident. That was a 10-year-old. Then we have a 16-year-old. Um, out of that was out of California, if if I have it right, because they coming in quick. Um, oh shit, I was gonna say that story. Um, yeah, 16-year-old out of a California high school actually um try to recruit other students for a mass shooting, and I'm like, really? I believe you sent me the story, if I'm not mistaken, Miss Risky. Uh,
Which one?
the 16-year-old that tried to recruit students for a mass shooting in California, um, which is crazy. 16 years old. 16. Where are they learning these things from? Because
I mean,
apparently
and I don't want to say they're learning this from TV, because to me that's a cop out. Because we all, like a lot of people watch a lot of things. I grew up watching horror movies. Doesn't mean that I'm in the woods with an axe and a machete killing people. No, because I know it's fiction. You
mm,
know, but clearly, like people, I mean, the times have changed since we were kids, and everybody's like blaming other things for their issues. Like, oh, I was bullied. Well, I just called him fat and then I shot him. Like, there's no like they're going through extremes to resolve situations. And it's like they're not learning how to deal with stress. They're not learning how to be comfortable with themselves. And then they're just like, well, I wasn't happy, so I want to make you unhappy. And that's not how this should go. And the fact that they're just trying to take out as many people because they're miserable or want attention, it just boggles my mind.
Mm. Now, he didn't only try to recruit students, and um, he also advertised on social media, online, and planned to make to bomb the school too. See, people, it's that's why it's so important we put out the right information, because a lot of people, they will say things and do things, but they will have conspiracy behind it, and they don't put out the right information. You have to put out the right information and let people know this is not a game, this is not a joke, because this is what some of these kids are taking it. They think it's cool to make threats like that. But what happened is they end up going to jail. And these threats you've been making, that's going to follow you forever. I feel like in certain situations, a kid record should not be sponged. When it's dealing with
Violent
violence like this, no, it should not be sponged. It need to make
expunged.
sure, yeah, it's sponged. But it need to be made known what type of person you're dealing with. I seen a video today, and I don't know where this was, but it was on Instagram. And this kid, I guess he was trying to do some work on a computer or something, and he just had a breakdown because the computer was either moving slow or kept kicking him out or whatever. Look, we're all up on the stress. Get some help. Get some help. Because I'm like this, if that was my child reacting to something like that, hey, we about to go to counseling. We need to try to figure out what's going on, what's making you act this way, because you're doing it as a child, and if it's not solved at the beginning, it's going to get worse as you get older. People are afraid to correct their kids when they're young. You cannot wait until they become teenagers and try to correct them. You need to start early, from
Yeah,
day
because all this
one.
stuff you laughing and get, oh, that's cute. He's cussing me out.
Oh,
No, it's never cute when they're young and cussing you out. Nip
yeah,
that in
that's
the bud, and then when they're 10 and 12, you'll have a better handle on them.
uh yeah. So I haven't, I'm sorry, radio, I haven't seen any of their videos, uh um but I've seen some videos. I sent you a video last week on earlier this week on Instagram about the little boy that was talking about what he want to be when he grow up. And matter of
Mm-hmm.
fact, I'm gonna try to pull up that sound bite. Um, Try to pull up that sound bite for you could hear it for yourself. That's why we need to do something for our kids. We need to spend money in trying to get these kids back involved. Keep them off the street. Do something with them. But doing what we're doing now is not working, because a lot of these kids are raising themselves. Yeah, you provide a roof over their head, provide food for them. Some parents provide food for them, but sometimes these kids got to provide for themselves. We need to provide something for them. I don't know if they still have the summer job program like they had when I was coming up.
Probably not. Because they, like once the kids get here, it's like, what's something we could cut back on to put more money in the government's pocket. Oh, take away a lot of like these sponsored programs, no more after school programs, no more guidance counselors. Per school, we're going to have a counselor rotating, which I think is another issue. They have like these roaming counselors, and I'm like, no, kids need consistency. They need somebody they can feel comfortable with going to that's always there. Like if I'm being bullied and I gotta wait until next week to see you, I'm shooting up the school. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because I don't know how to deal with my problems. Because yeah, they're providing the necessities, food, shelter and clothes, but they're not there for their kids mentally, and listening to them. They're just like letting them raise themselves, and listening to their peers that also have issues. So it's just like before, at least we had a network. Yeah, we were feral children running the streets, but we had sense enough to not get into too much trouble that would, risk our lives. Um, and we had peers of all ages, even though it's probably inappropriate there, but yeah,
You breaking up on me, Miss Risky. I don't know if it's look
yeah,
like we both have good internet service. See, I'm gonna blame that on our platforms. They trying to shut us off because we talking about some real stuff. But you unfroze on me. Um, but yeah, welcome to the show. T Cal is up in the house. Happy Thursday to you. Miss Risky had lost her signal. Oh, I think she back now. Um, the radio said up here they just announced they freeze on handgun sales, and that's up in Canada. Um, unfortunately, here, uh, uh, sporting, uh, you breaking up real bad, Miss Risky. I'm hearing I'm thinking you doing don't rate me falso latido. I don't know what you're saying. Your internet breaking up real bad. Um, try to go out and come back in. Try to go out and come back in because for some reason your internet breaking up real bad. Um, so here at radio, we have places almost on every corner where you can buy guns, pawn shops, some type of shooting range, or um, almost on every corner we have somewhere you can buy guns. It may not be every corner, but within a half mile, you got a place that you can buy weapons at. Miss Risky will be back in a minute. She's going down and coming back in. T Cal said, "Yep, my mom was a high school counselor, and she went all 4 years with her kids and started with a new freshman class after they graduated. See, that's good. That's a good educator because everyone do not put that much time into kids. I know one of my favorite teachers um, was Miss Mass, rest her soul. She was wonderful. Even after school, we always stayed in contact with each other. And I could call, talk to her, or she called me. It was like, hey, that was a commitment. She cared about teaching. And I wish more teachers done the same thing. But I'm gonna try to play this sound bite from this young man that talked about what he want to be when he grow up. Let me make sure I have my phone up right. Um, hold on. I know this thing was gonna do it. If I like killing, hold on. I like killing because let me start it over because killing show
want to be? What do you want to be when you grow up? A murderer, because I like killing. My brain tells me if I like killing. I like killing because when I first watched my grown up killing show, myself started to like killing, and then my brain started to like tell me what to do with killing it. So I like murders and I like killing in my life. I'm gonna kill everybody in the world except for my family because they just didn't do anything to me. I just like killing. So just any type of person, it doesn't matter. What about me? Yeah. Even me? No, not even my teachers either. Okay, because I'm the first person that you told this. Am I? Yeah. So I just like killing. So what are you gonna be again when you grow up? A murderer. Okay. Bye. Bye. Want to be?
And that child is 8 or 9 years old, according to the video, saying that he want to be a murderer when he grow up. What are we teaching our kids? What can we do to get to free their mind of something like this, to even think like this? Should we censor the content on TV? Because unfortunately, with reality TVs, um, it looks so realistic. People don't know what's real, what's not real. In reality TVs, a lot of those are scripted. All the drama you see on that is scripted. Then we have um, the video games. A lot of the video games, there are a lot of killing going on. Matter of fact, it was one video game years ago. What was the name of it? Uh, but they had prostitution in these video games, had a lot of cussing in these video game, a lot of violence where they was trying to get this video game banned. So what are we teaching our kids? Um, okay, that's cool, Miss Risky. I figured you was trying to get back in. Um, what are we teaching our kids? And um it's just not Grand Theft Auto. Thank you, T Cal. That's what it was, Grand Theft Auto. What are we keeping our kids, teaching our kids? Miss Risky, I heard it come up, but you didn't show up on my stream. Try it again. Um, so what are we teaching our kids? What are we doing as parents, as mentors? What are we doing to change our community? What are we doing to try to encourage a child to do better? I know for me, um, I would love to mentor some young kids to be able to lead them the right way. One of my neighbors have a couple of teenage sons. Well, had the chance to meet them and we talked. And one of them, I'm like, hey, he played football. And I said, well, look, man, whenever you have a game, let me know. I'll be there to support you. For the simple fact, he's seeing another positive man in his life. That can make a difference on what path he go on in the future. Somebody who's positive, they're gonna take a look at that. They would always remember that. Somebody who's positive and someone who would also correct them when they're wrong. So the thing is, we as a community, we need to take back our community. And we need to be able to say, hey, we need to do this. We need to get out the mindset that someone cannot say something or correct your child when they're doing wrong. Because if we allow them to continue to go wrong, they're gonna grow up, man. The grown man, or let's say grown boys, growing up and kind of like um, make sure I have it right. Corey Anderson, out of Florida, And it's amazing. This is the second one out of Florida. Second one out of Florida that we're talking about. He's 18 years old. Well, he thought it was a joke to post on social media weapons and ask where is the nearest school? Asking for direction to the nearest school after posting weapons, him and weapons online. This is not a game. When you see stuff like that, stop laughing at the stupidity and report it, because you don't know if they're playing or if they serious about it. It's better that you report it and say, you know what? The life that you save might just be your own, because we're seeing mass shooting everywhere. It doesn't make a difference where you are. They're coming up everywhere. Um, one of the like yesterday uh, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, dude go up in the hospital, and he go up in the hospital and shoot the doctor that did surgery on him. Shoot the doctor, and there was several people killed in that incident. I believe it was 5 people killed in that incident in Tulsa, Oklahoma, including the gunman. Welcome back, Miss Risky. So that's what we have to control. We have to start young. You cannot wait until uh, until these young boys or teenagers, until they become grown men, to show them the right way. We can't wait that long. It need to start early. I guess I'm freezing now. Um, boy, I'm froze. I don't know what's going on.
Saturn's in retrograde.
Well, you know, it it it, it, I'm gonna tell you what it might be. Because I seen this other post. It might be Herschel Walker. I don't know.
Yeah, I
It's-
didn't see what did he talk about, because I've seen him like being shared, and I guess he said something
okay,
outrageous, but
you
I didn't
want?
care enough to look at it.
I'll play the sound bite for you.
Okay.
I'll play the sound bite. Now remember, Georgia, y'all need to step up because he's running. He's running for office in Georgia. But I just passed it. Let me see. Um, so the question was, how do we address gun violence in America? He's running for Senate in Georgia. I'm gonna play this soundbite. See who is.
You know, he talked about doing a disinformation. What about getting a department that can look at young men that's looking at women that's looking at just social media? What about doing that, looking into things like that, and we can stop that way?
Bruh, Herschel sounds like somebody trying to give a book report about it.
That was actually came from Reese Water, but the question was, how do we address gun violence in America? He talking about addressing young men looking at women on social media.
That's the clear definition of ADHD. It's like focus, Herschel, focus. That wasn't the question. You all over here.
Georgia, I don't care what y'all do, but y'all need to show up and make sure he do not become a Senate in Georgia. You think that's crazy? This is also the same person that talked about he have a cure for COVID.
Windex. He must have watched my Big Fat Greek Wedding. Because
I'm just
Windex
saying.
cures everything.
I'm just saying. Uh, he, I'm gonna leave that alone. But if you're just not tuning in, we are live. You can live chat with us in the chat room, whatever platform you own. Um, and please, whatever platform you're on, please take the time to like, share, subscribe, send let your friends know. We only gonna keep it real on this show. Radio said Herschel won his primary by a landslide. Yes, he did.
What
Yes,
were
he
their
did.
other options? Was it just based on name recognition?
See, that's another thing you should not do. You should not vote just because this person is an athlete, a reality show host, or anything like that. You need to look at their policies. What are they going to do for the people? What are they going to do? And Herschel, he was asked the question, how do we address mass shooting? And he talking about controlling the young boys looking at women on social media. I'm trying to put the two together. I don't understand what he meant. Miss Risky, I know you very smart and intelligent. Can you help me out?
No. And
Oh,
I
okay.
have and I have like a very creative mindset, so I can't even make that work.
So Georgia, y'all need to step up in November. Y'all don't need to let this man in. Um, and Marcus Flower, he's very powerful. He's running against Marjorie Green, the alleged lunatic. He running against her, and it's several people that are running in Georgia that you need to pay attention to. Um, Stacey Adams, um, she's running, and definitely need to get out and vote. I don't care where you are. Make sure you register to vote. And Herschel, I'm gonna open the invitation to you too. If you need a counselor, hit me up. I can provide one for you.
I think he just
Uh,
needs some Ritalin.
Matter of fact, better yet, if you don't want to contact me, go to that website.
He almost
They
answered that question. Remember the Miss America is like, and Iraq and such as and the maps. He just went on a instead of like spazzing out. He just went on. You know what? I'm gonna talk about this. I'm
just
not
gonna talk
gonna even
about
answer
whatever
your
came to
question.
his
This
mind.
is what I was told the question was gonna be about, and this is the question
He
that
gonna
I
stick to
practiced.
script. He
Yeah,
gonna stick
I
to the script.
practiced this. Such as the maps.
You know what? I would love to see that too, but I got a funny feeling Herschel not gonna show up.
I
For some reason, I think I would bet on that he won't show up.
don't know. I think he would. He would show up. He got to stay relevant. He got to get them votes.
Gonna get him embarrassed.
Listen, the fact that he answered the question like that, I don't think he cares. You know.
Hey, well, he would look like he was looking down reading, and he lost his place where he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
uh,
those athletes, because they do get concussed. And have those nerve damages. So I'll give him that. He's
was that
concussed.
one too many hits in the head?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what that is.
yeah, that's crazy. Um, but also that was we talked about Corey Anderson. He thought it was a joke. Um, Now he's facing serious consequences for uh, threatening of a mass shooting because he thought it was cool. He thought it was cool to uh, take pictures with weapons and ask the question, "Where's the nearest school?" Well, I think a lot of people are starting to wake up now because a lot of people is like, "No, we're not taking this. We've had too many mass shootings. It's time for us to do something different." And speaking of doing something different, here in Texas, please Do not get it twisted with Greg Abbott. Now he talking about he was did he say he was embarrassed or he was misled? That was the word he used, misled last week with the shooting in Uvalde, talking about he was told that the policemen ran in and killed them. But as the videos come out and more parents start talking, it took an hour for the policemen to go inside. He's up giving a report saying that they ran in there. And matter of fact, they went to the point to say one border patrol officer ran in, did not wait for backup, went in and shot the killer. But that was a lie. And then the former school chief of police, he refused to answer answers. Refused to work with DPS. Don't want to work with him. But he was sworn into office as a city councilman, I believe. Sworn into office secretly. Normally, that's a public event. You just had a mass shooting up under your watch. You lied about the response that the police department gave, and you don't want to work with authorities to try to get everything sorted out. But then you're sworn into city councilman. I'm like, no, that never should happen. Y'all need to make him a one term. One term. Don't believe this hype that Greg Abbott is giving y'all. Talking about praying for the schools and the parents and all of this. As soon as that last funeral is over, you're not going to hear nothing else about it until next year. Unfortunately, it's not news anymore. It's nothing to talk about. Now you don't hardly hear anything now. They might say, oh, uh, such and such been laid to rest and all of this, but that's it. These families are struggling. They're going to struggle for a while. So please do not take what Greg Abbott is saying, because he's trying to get reelected. That's all he's saying it for. He's trying to get reelected, and we need to make sure we send him packing. It's time for him to go. Yes, I feel like it will be. They even went to the fact, I don't know what's true, what's not true, but they went to the fact and said that a teacher had propped that door open for some reason. And then I heard it wasn't true. The door was not propped open. It's going to be several lawsuits come out of this. And that's, yeah, you can sue them, but it's not gonna bring that loved one back. It's really a sad situation all in all, because now you don't know, you could be anywhere, and you could be anywhere and end up find yourself in a loss, in a bad situation. Even with what you're saying about Cruz tried to blame the unlocked door. Yes, he did. And that did not work.
I'm still trying to figure out how the guy would the shooter was in an auto accident. The officer saw that he had weapons, and then at some point he ended up walking a half a mile to the school, like 15 minutes away from the accident. I mean, I have lots of questions, and it starts there. It starts
Well,
there.
think
Like,
about
we
it.
ain't even on campus. How did he end up with his assault rifles walk 15 minutes after an accident and officers was on the scene. What
Well,
happened?
not only that, the fact that you received the call for shooting in the area, and then somebody have an accident, get out with guns and walking, and you don't
15
try to
minutes?
do nothing.
That's a long time. I mean, do they not have cop cars? I mean, are they driving those little golf scooters?
Well, a lot
Golf
of
cart.
kind of like the police chase you sent me
Mm-mm.
the other day.
Pull
They
over. He's walking too fast. I can't go
no
up the hill.
the police chase out of Fort Worth where you said I could have got up and went and knocked up on the window.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
why you playing?
pull over. That's how slow it was. Um,
Like an old lady in a walker was walking faster.
well, radio. I got one better than that. You said Cruz tried to blame the unlocked door. Also, yes, he did. But how about Junior, Donald Trump Jr.? He argued Uvalde shooter could have done the exact same thing with a bat or a machete. That's what he said. And y'all are still supporting him? Because the thing is, you got to look at the facts. These folks don't care what y'all think of them. They all about drama. And when it's all said and done, you put them in office, guess what? What happened when something happened to one of your family members and they make comments like this? So this is mass shooting is not a game. Everybody should be pissed. Everybody. This should be something that um, we need to come up with something to prevent them. And unfortunately, our leaders been dragging their feet for a long time. That's why it's time to make a change.
And using the Constitution as an excuse. It's like, no, those laws need to be rewritten, and we talked about that before. Every 20 or so years, we need to change these laws. And yes, you're right to bear arms, but that was for the 1800s. We weren't a developed and civilized, a country then, and now we are. And, whenever they say stuff like that, it reminds me of like toddlers. It's like, no, it's mine. You can't take my guns away. That's how you look right now. Like, how many
Exactly.
guns do you need? And if you're that scared, what does that say about you?
Hey, I'm
I'm
just
just
saying.
saying.
See, I cannot read radio comments while I'm talking because I'm like, really?
I mean,
um,
I was gonna say it, but I was like, because
well,
I was like, that cocaine is a dangerous drug.
radio said Don Jr. look like he's about to cry all the time now. He should lay off the speedball. I'm just, hey, I don't know. They say that's what a lot of folks do. Ain't that's what the Senate said? But the congressman, whoever he else said that they was having a lot of drugs and orgy going on in Washington. That's all I'm gonna say. Mm, That's all I'm gonna say. Uh, Allegedly, well, that's what he said. Hell, I guess it was true. He was there. That's why they trying to kick him out of Washington. He's snitching. He telling all the dirt.
Telling everybody,
We
everybody
we
going down.
we know something is going on, but
You catch a case. You catch a case. You catch a case.
somebody finally said something about it. We always suspected, but
Yeah,
at the
we knew
same
somebody.
time, we could tell by some of these laws y'all are doing. Y'all sitting up
Exactly.
uh, T-Cal said, coke and sex party. Y'all sitting up doing coke and sex parties
That's
and
so
talking about
80s.
we're gonna not pass this bill. We'll pass this one because they got the good
Yeah, because
coke
it
over
makes no
here.
sense. Like the laws they're passing make no sense. The laws they're rejecting make no sense. It's like, but we need these. Uh, no, I think we need you know what? Let's go overseas and build them a statue symbolizing trans.
What you got going on over there? You got a circus coming through?
I mean, that's what it sounds like. I think it's a
That sound
fire
like a
truck.
fire truck.
It is, I think, but it was
Go
too
on.
close. I was like,
Hold on. Doo, doo, doo. We got breaking news. Go on, take your camera up to the window. Let
I
us
know,
see
right?
what's going on.
I just heard a siren.
Hey, you get there before Smash get there.
Hold on, let me see.
Just make sure it ain't your
Because
building.
I am by the patio door, but I can't reach it right now. I should
Uh,
have my blinds cracked.
yeah, make sure it's not your building.
Maybe it's
Um,
that escaped convict.
oh, see, we mm.
Listen, if I see him, I'm collecting that 50,000.
Oh yeah, I just seen it. Radio said cops have no problem inputting their clips into unarmed people, mass shooters. They have to stop and evaluate. Well, it depends on who the mass shooters are.
Yeah.
It depends because, and also get it right, radio. You said input they clip, but it been a lot of them that reload and continue to shoot. Like what was
Whole
it?
squad.
Oklahoma last month, where the brother was coming out the building, had his hands up in the air, and they was like, uh, "Raise your hand." His hands was up. Cops started shooting him. Dude down on on the ground and shot again. I think it was total of 40 shots fired. So between two officers. So y'all had to empty your clip, reload, and shoot him again while he was on the ground, telling him keep his hands up after him been shot. I'd be like, could you explain that to me? Um, how, I would like for you to see you keep your hands up after you've been shot.
Exactly. Because I'm keeping the blood in my body. I don't know about you.
Exactly.
Uh,
So
and
that
what was it last year? We had that video. Some man he was getting pulled over for a traffic violation, and instantly he was going to get gas. So he's outside his car. Cop pulls him over and asks for ID. The man reaches for ID, and the dude shoots him 3 times. And then dude's
that'll
like in
happen a lot.
shock, holding himself, and the officer is yelling commands. Stop moving. Tramp, you shot me 3 times.
Yeah. See,
All on video. Like you asked for my license and registration. I went to get it. Where do you think it was?
I'll be like, look, I don't feel comfortable. I
Like
tell
the
you where
fact
it's
that
at.
black folks don't have like PTSD and just go postal. I think that's probably what we're gonna have to do. They doing it, you know.
I won't recommend violence, but I
Listen, by any
understand.
means necessary,
I understand.
because
Um,
clearly being nice and
it's not
waiting
working.
is not working. Waiting
It's
for
not
laws
working.
to work in our favor is not working.
Well, I won't say it's not all police officer because we both have friends and families that are policemen and
Hmm.
police women. Um, and then we have different type of servers that we may know um, that is in that line of field emergency services. So I would not. Um, you cannot treat everybody the same
Right,
because I know
right. But if
some.
you witness something, listen, it's a war. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see it's a battle. Sorry,
it
going
is.
down, protecting our own. Uh, Thought it was going a certain way. Have you not seen the news? That's my, that's my justification.
Yeah, and I do agree with your statement, Radio Chaos. Dave Chappelle said every minority in the U.S. should buy and register a firearm. Then the GOP would freak out and pass more gun control. You're exactly right. And also, if I'm not mistaken, I think the numbers last year there was more uh, African American sisters that got registered, got licensed with their license to carry last year. So it's
I need to
definitely,
do that.
well, I still recommend to do it, even though it's not required here in Texas. I would still recommend someone to get your license because you have some type of training, you have some type of knowledge of what to do and what not to do compared to um, some of these other places like Texas that don't require it. But here it is, you never know. Uh, you don't know what somebody is doing or how they feeling today. And I say it all the time, just because you're able to buy a gun does not mean you should have one, because mentally you're not fit to carry one. Because if everybody who purchased guns was fit for it, we wouldn't have all these mass shootings. Last 3 weeks, that's all we've been talking about: mass shootings, mass shooting. Mentally, that plays a role on us because we have to research these stories and hear some of these details that happen, and it's like, wow. Kind of like last week, I talked about gun violence. The website, uh, been getting information from gun violence archives. Um, since last week, it been, I think, 18 deaths from a mass shooting, and I seen a couple of them that wasn't on there, but it been over 88 people shot from mass shooting from last Thursday in a week's time. And it had definitely gone up even today in Wisconsin. 5 people shot, gun violence. Wisconsin. I don't, it happened all over. So I'm like, look, at what point? What point? And speaking of that, we did have an attempted, and I'm saying attempted, mass shooting the other day. This happened in Charleston, West Virginia, and all I'm gonna read the story. Charleston, West Virginia, a woman in West Virginia fatally shot a man who began firing an AR-15 style rifle into a crowd of people that had gathered for a graduation party, I believe. Dennis Butler, 37, was killed Wednesday night after he pulled out the rifle and began shooting at dozens of people attending a birthday slash graduation party outside an apartment complex in the city of Charleston. Police said in a statement, the woman who was attending the party drew a pistol and fired, killing Butler. The statement said no one at the party was injured. Thank God of that. Instead of running from the threat, she engaged with the threat and saved several lives. Um, that's from a chief of detective Tony Haslett told news outlet on Thursday. Butler was at the apartment complex early in the evening in a vehicle and had been warned to slow down because children were playing. Police said they said he left. He but returned later, parked in front of the complex, and began firing. After fatally shooting Butler, the woman waited alone with several witnesses for police to arrive, and all have cooperated with the investigation. Hazlitt said no charges will be filed against the woman. I wish I knew who the woman was, because kudos to you. Thank you for taking a stand, because it's no telling how many more killings that could have been. And for Corey Butler, um, Dennis Butler, I'm sorry, I said Corey Butler. Dennis Butler, you got exactly what you deserve. You got exactly what you deserve. And and let me explain this, because a lot of these mass shooting is not one particular race. Dennis Butler, black man, he got exactly what he deserved. I believe the shooter in Tulsa yesterday, black man, from what I seen, all because,
They learned it from watching them.
well, he didn't like the way that the doctor operated on him.
Yeah, yeah, because he was in pain or something.
So once again, it's not one particular race. This is happening in every race. Daniel, the 10-year-old we talked about, Hispanic. The 16-year-old in California, I'm not sure what race he was, because they didn't say his name and they didn't show a picture. But um, Corey Anderson, Caucasian man. So people have mental illness all across the board, and we need to do something to get people help. That's what we need to do. For the sister that put her life at risk to save all the other lives, I thank you. I thank you, because it could have been another mass shooting and you could have been one of the victims. But instead, she put her life before other people and took the threat down. That's why it's so important to get training. If you're going to carry a gun, get training. Because what if she was just somebody who had a gun, never had no training? She could have shot more people and Butler could have still been alive. And she could have killed other people. But because of her training, she did what she needed to do and what she had to do. Tuck a stand. Um, Radio said, didn't some guy go back into a restaurant with an AK-47 because they either screwed up his sandwich or it was taking too long? Oh, I've seen stories about this. Because I only do one show per week now. I don't get a chance to talk about a lot of these stories. But that's another incident. Food restaurants. People get upset because their food is not right. I believe it was a Burger King employee, got into it with a customer. The Burger King employee went out to her car, came back, shot the customer, then fled. That don't make sense.
Right. And again, the consequences of their actions don't match. Like they're doing extreme things for minor situations. And they need to no longer do that. And we need to, again, mental health is important. So we'll know how to, resolve our issues. Uh, we need to think things through to say, yeah, this person cut me off, but does it warrant me putting a bullet and ending his life? No, it does not. And people don't know how to deal with it anymore. And I don't know what the solution is. I mean, it's not all mental illness. People are just quick to just pop off and use a gun as the answer to every solution, whether it be for on themselves or towards other people. It's still not right. Um, we need to learn to not be so quick to pop a cap in somebody's behind. Um, so it's just craziness all across the world, and it's ridiculous. What you
What's wrong?
laughing and giggling about?
Oh,
We were
nothing.
talking about you.
I know you probably was. Um, whew. I go back and listen to the replay.
No, I was just saying, reiterating how people are too quick to pop a cap in somebody's behind over minor infractions. Like you cut me off, that doesn't warrant the ending of my life. Maybe the finger, maybe a few choice words. People have lost that reasoning. Like if you flip me off, I flip you off. You cuss me out, I cuss you out. Now people are like, you cuss me out, I'ma shoot you. You step on my toe, I'ma shoot you.
Or
You
even
call me
if you,
fat, or if I feel like you're putting me down, I'ma shoot you. Those are not valid reactions to minor infractions.
it's not justified and it
No,
would
it is
never be
in any way.
justified. To just because someone upsets you does not give you the right to take a life.
Exactly. It's a life.
Because what's going to happen when it's all said and done, you're going to be held accountable. And we see it also often, especially in Florida, when they talk about um, um, stand your ground because you fear for your life. If someone shooting you the bird make you fear for your life, you might need to get some help.
Exactly.
If somebody go and get some Skittles and a drink and walking through the complex and you choose to follow them and decide to shoot and kill a young black man, you need some help. So don't say your life was threatened in the threat. If it was ever a threat, it's walking away.
It's just an excuse to justify their actions. And
Exactly.
that's the whole point of the stand your ground. Oh, I felt threatened. That's all they have to say. I felt threatened. Well, you can't prove that they weren't. So they get away with it.
And
So
that's
that's
a
that loophole.
yeah, that's a big loophole
The
because
lit up start doing it.
but that law does not work for everyone. Uh, now, I cannot remember. I know we done this story maybe a couple of years ago. The sister that who had her husband have a known
Yeah, the
record,
warning shot.
yeah, known record to come and attack her, had a restraining order on him, and he broke into her house. She did a warning shot, and I think they try to give her 10 years or something.
I thought it was more than that.
It may be.
Hold
I'm
on,
gonna
let's
have to.
see.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull it up now
Because
because
I need to see if she's out. Because I know they were talking about trying to commute the sentence or do something.
if y'all just not joining us, we are live, so it's sometime we gotta Google some things, make sure we're giving out the right information. So
Marissa Alexander. And this took place, I guess, in 2017. Trying to see, where are you now?
uh
Sentenced to a 20-year mandatory minimum for firing a single warning shot into the ceiling when her abusive, estranged husband attacked her. So it was
now
20 years.
now
Uh,
the incident happened in May 2012. That's when it happened, but I guess they
yeah,
finally um now her husband um had her husband had attacked her and threatened to kill her on August 1st, 2010. And sometime after her conviction, a new trial was ordered. Before the new trial could begin, Alexandra was released on January 27, 2015, under a plea deal that capped the sentence to 3 years she had already served. She never should have been in jail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2017 they cut off her ankle monitor. So even after that, she had like an ankle monitor until 2017.
Yeah,
Like she was a criminal.
she was
Like, does
released.
that make sense? Like this woman was probably an upstanding citizen, paying her taxes on time, probably early. A man is abusing her, and she can't defend herself. And that's another thing. Women rights, like we, like your granny said, stay out of grown folk business. Stay out of women's business. Like, let us protect ourselves. Let us control our bodies. Let us do grown folk things.
Yeah, exactly. Pronounced the oh, uh, so Corey announced that he intend on reprosecuting her. This time aiming for 3 consecutive 20-year sentence, amounting to the mandatory 60-year sentence if she was found guilty. Um, that came out in 2013. But I'm like this: abuse is never good. What if it's a man abusing a woman or a woman abusing a man, whether if it's physical or verbally abuse? Abuse is abuse, and it should never happen. Um, so um, this is crazy. Now they did change the law, and this happened in Jacksonville, Florida. They did change the law that in certain situation, a warning shot can be fired. So she never should have been in jail. That's just crazy. And is he still in office? That prosecutor, he shouldn't even be practicing. He need to be out.
It's backwards. Like, but that's Florida.
Oh, and she also spoke in favor of strengthening the stand your ground law with the intent of making it more fair and that it can be made more balanced. So
Well, that's what they
uh,
need to do with all these laws because they're not very balanced. Like, you
it's
can't
one
be like,
sided.
well, she has her whole life ahead of her, but she killed 15 people, but she could have children and get married and be reformed. But let Shaquita do like shoplifting, 20 years to life.
Well,
Her life, she's not gonna be a pillar of the society. We're just gonna make an executive decision and ruin the rest of her life.
um, that's kind of like I'm sorry, I'm reading at the same time. We've done stories on the difference between white laws and black laws because it's definitely a difference, and unfortunately, some people don't want to realize it. It's a big difference for it, and uh, we definitely need to um, take a stand on it. You know what? She have a website. Um, she's a keynote speaker, advocate, author. I'm doing like you. I'm gone down a rabbit hole. I know we're out of time, but okay. And I don't know if she's in Texas now. If she's still in Florida, she probably got the hell out of Florida.
I would too.
Um, so I'm gonna
Like,
have to
I'd feel some sort of way.
I'm gonna have to look into it. Um, Is that the guy where, if I'm not mistaken, I think he approached the woman that was parked in a handicap spot, and her husband, he approached her talking bad to the woman, and then her husband came out the store and pushed him down, saying, "Hey man, what you doing disrespecting my wife?" And the guy walked off. The threat was over, and he ended up shooting and killing the guy. So I don't know if it's that one.
Yeah, it did have something to do with a parking lot. Well, it took place in the parking lot.
At a convenience store. Radio said
Mhm.
that's right. So that's what I was thinking, because we covered that story, and if you just now um, tuning in, just not finding out about the channel, it's always best to go to YouTube and watch some of the past shows, because some of the past shows is uh, a lot of information out there. We've had counselors come on, which we will be having another one come on in July. That's the first available they have. So as soon as I find out, I will make it known. She will come back on. Miss Simmons. She was on the last counselor we had on. So I've talked with her a couple of times, and I said, "Look, we need some help, because there's so much going on with mental health right now. We're struggling. All this mass shooting, we're struggling. So so definitely tune in to that whenever we get it set up. Um, man, our time be going by quick. Normally I'd be like, okay, it's time, but we try to get everything in this hour and a half that we're on here. Um, right now, I'm unable to do more shows. We'll talk about that later, but I'm only committing to Thursdays because Miss Risky is here, and occasionally we might do a Friday. Um, if depends on what we have going on. So, but definitely continue to support the show. Continue to tell people about us. We here. Hopefully, y'all enjoy the replays, and you can always reach us on social media. For me, you gotta hit those DMs. That's the best way. I'm still trying to catch up on um, DMs, and on TikTok. I'm trying to get better at it. But Facebook, due to Facebook Messenger, it normally come right to me. Matter of fact, after last week's show, someone actually sent me some material they working on, and um, so hopefully once they get it finished, we can have them on the show to display it, and uh, because right now we all need something positive going on in our life. It's hard. Um, it's been rough. We all going through rough times. Um, but Miss Risky, I'm thinking that's all I have to say. Yeah, my birthday coming up. So it's coming up the 13th. We might have a party that night. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna turn it up. It's a milestone for me. I just pray and hope I can make it and keep on living. Hopefully, I can double it at some point. But uh, the 13th, and we're gonna turn up that night. So, Miss Risky, let the people know where they can find you.
Everywhere at RSKEE. You can find me on Twitter. I've been posting more TikTok videos. I need more followers. Follow me. Snapchat, Instagram. I live on Instagram. If you want to just say hey or have a story you want us to research, rskee at yahoo.com. Send me a message, and you can find me everywhere online. So, find me.
Okay.
Find me, look me up.
But hey, definitely go out and support Miss Risk. If you have not seen some of her TikTok videos she do, I'll be like, boy, she funny.
I try. I
She
gotta,
funny.
I gotta, entertain my 58 followers, my fan base.
I haven't done a TikTok in months. I do go on there occasionally and take a look, but I haven't done it in a couple of
I'm up to
months.
68.
You getting there?
Going up in the world.
You getting there? Keep it going, y'all. Hit her up on TikTok. You have 312 likes. I see 120. What's that?
Following. I'm
120.
following 120 people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but definitely um support my little sister
Yeah, I
because
think most of the followers are bots, though.
oh I hate that because put it like this, there's certain ones when I see their picture, I just delete it.
Well, and then
I
also
del-
you have followers, and then you're following a bunch of people, but you have no likes. You're not posting anything.
yeah, I keep getting these little girls. I don't know. When I see them, I don't even open. I just swipe delete, swipe delete. Cause I open something, they talking about, oh, I would like to make a video with you or send you a video. Delete. I don't care.
Yeah, I haven't got any of
Delete.
those messages.
Well, I get them all the time. I'm like,
I
hell
mean, I
to the
did get
no.
a baby girl message. Someone was trying to slide in my DMs. Hey, baby girl, I love you. Oh,
Delete.
and I was
We
like,
need it.
I pushed my phone away. I was like, ah, can you see me?
We need it.
Go away.
Okay. Before you holler at my little sister, we're gonna do a background check. We're gonna check your credit score and make sure you work. And we're gonna run everything on you because there's some people out here today. Um,
But even that doesn't help. People are like low key undercover sociopaths. Like,
well,
that's why I stay in the house.
I, I I'm not gonna talk about it. We'll talk about it offline, but incident happened to a friend. You need to run people name. Run people name. When you meet somebody they interested in, ask them what's their government name and run it just to make sure. Um, but you like me. Uh, but anyway, you can find me on all social media. Um, Facebook Messenger is good, and also Instagram. That's what I'm on the most. I hit TikTok every once in a while. But we appreciate everyone to tune in. Please follow the please follow the uh, watch the replays, share them with your friends. And the last question, Miss Risky. Does Miss Risky have a height requirement?
Yes,
That's it.
that's it.
What 3 foot 4 or 5 feet 6? What?
This ain't a dating show.
Oh, well, I've been trying to get you
The
to do
show's
one for
been
them.
ended like for 6 minutes or
Oh,
10 minutes.
okay, 10 minutes. Um, well, I was making up the time. I had to step away. But anyway, yes, you do. But we gonna try to convince her to get on a dating site. So
I am on
But
a
not
dating
on
site. I'm
not
on
on the
all of
dating
them.
site. We're gonna do a dating, speed dating on here one day if she
We don't
starts.
have enough. Yeah, we just
Okay.
don't have enough.
All right. Well, until next time, we love each and every one of you. Until then, peace.